Hey, hey, hey. I'm your humble host, Phys Ed Music, and this right here is Urban Politics. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing. Liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance, take your cell phone over to YouTube, like and subscribe, Phys Ed Music, Urban Politics. But without further ado, I want to get right into it like a car and drive, because there's all types of tasty and delicious politics to sink our teeth into. Want to add a little ambiance, ladies and gentlemen. So you're looking, you're saying maybe what's up with the darkness and the shadows or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Want to add a little ambiance, make it a little warmer, a little cozier for you to watch her at home. So check me out. Urban politics. First of all, let's talk about Biden. Said that he is running in 2024. People are concerned about his age. How could you not be? The man is 80 plus years old. He'll be 84, I think. You know what I'm saying? What, by the time he runs in 2024 or whatever, or will he be about to be 84 or something? He's extremely old. The man is old. Everybody's concerned about his age. The only minus Joe really has, though, is his age. Now, he will be our oldest history, or our oldest president in history. You know, today he'll be the oldest person to ever hold the office of president ever. So I guess that's something to pat yourself on the back for or whatever. But people are concerned about that because by the time you're in your 80s, it's hard to walk across the street, let alone, you know, lead the free world. So there it is. So we'll see what's up with that. But Joe said he's feeling good or whatever. Then he said something about his age wasn't a concern, or he didn't think about it much, something like that. Whatever he said, it didn't really sound good either, but it's good, I guess, to know that Joe, he ain't missing a step. He's still the gaff master, and he still be making them gaffs. You know, Gaffosaurus, that's still Joe. He ain't missing a beat, right? But remember all this stuff I'm saying about him, because later on in the show, we're going to talk about some interesting stuff from him that really shows that he ain't slow Joe no mo. You know what I'm saying? You can't call him low energy or none of that crap that Trump has thrown at a lot of his opponents. So with that said, he's still out the same body that you know. You know what I'm saying? And that is what it is. In 2024, it looks like it could be Trump and Biden again. People are not excited about that. I'm not excited about that at all, but it looks like, you know, second verse, same as the first. We're going to do it all over again. It's going to be Trump versus Biden. We'll see what happens. There are people on either side who could jump in the ring, who could at least make things harder for each of these guys or give them a run for their money. Who are they? Well, Nikki Haley, she threw her hat in the ring, but as of now, she only has 1% support in her party. And, you know, I mean, here you are, Republican, running for the Republican nomination. You only got 1%. Now, listen, we're real far along the way from the presidency. We're a little ways out, a long ways out. But if you notice, people are jumping in the ring right now. You know what I'm saying? They're saying their intentions right now because you got to do a lot. You got to say a lot. You got to change a lot of hearts and minds sometimes to capture that executive office. So that's what's going on right now. A lot of these men and women, that's what they're getting suited and booted right now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no time to waste. You call yourself trying to be the leader of the free world, you best to go ahead and put your bid in. So these people are putting their bid in. Now there's some people not doing it yet, and we'll talk about them in a hot second. But I want to go ahead and finish talking about Miss Haley here. Yeah, come on, man, that's a joke. 1%. You how you running as a Republican? You only got 1%. But like I said, we're a far ways out, so she could do some things to change that. I don't see it happen, but we'll see what happens. On the Democratic side, people were like, there's no one to run. There's no talent on the Democratic side. So I guess Biden has to run again. Well, number one, Biden's going to run again because he'll be an incumbent, and it's near next to impossible to get an incumbent out of the office. It just doesn't happen because human beings are creatures of habit. When people are used to seeing you in the Oval Office and things aren't going so bad, things are pretty okay, people are like, why switch gears now? So they're not looking to change, and that's why it's real easy to maintain the presidency when you're already the incumbent. And the incumbent just means you already got the job. So you can roll over it again and again, right? So, you know what I'm saying? They're hard-pressed to get him out of there. I think a brother, well, not a brother, but a man by the name of Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of Florida. I think he could step up and maybe, you know what I'm saying, make a run for that presidency in 2024. Now, he was doing some things that kind of gave the looks of a guy who might be thinking about he gonna make a run, but he hasn't said anything as of yet. But like I said, we're a long ways away. We're not there yet. And there's a lot of reasons that a person would and wouldn't announce their intentions right now. But I get it. Some of these people, you know what I'm saying, like Gavin Newsom, he may announce that he running, but he gonna do it, you know what I'm saying, probably in a couple of months from now. Not right now, it's just too soon. Just too soon. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know about DeSantis, or Pudding Ron. Is that what he been calling him now? Pudding Ron. I think that's what Trump been calling him now. So, he been pretending like he might not run. We all know he's running. He's just waiting to announce. Why would he be waiting to announce? Well, a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I think in Ron DeSantis' case, the reason he's waiting to announce is because he knows he's going to have to go heads up against Trump. And say what you will, but you a conservative calling yourself going up against one of what some of them would say, and Lord, I almost could, bite my tongue till it bleeds and I choke on my own blood saying this, but some people on that side have actually said to me that they think Trump was the greatest conservative president in history. Now, that statement is idiotic for a number of reasons. You know what I'm saying? If you know anything about conservatism, you know that that's really stupid to say that he was the greatest conservative president of the modern era or whatever. But people say that. So DeSantis knows he's going to be going up against that. You don't want to prolong that battle any more than you will have to. Already he knows Trump plays dirty. He get these nicknames for you. Already he's calling him Pudding Ron. I'm on the show referring to him as Pudding Ron. He know he's going to have a whole lot of that to deal with. Why make it longer than it has to be? So you know what I'm saying? He like, I'll wait until I absolutely have to jump in the ring. And then when I jump in the ring, then it's on. Now he got to start coming up with zingers like Trump, because that's all that matters on the right. They're not really interested in policy or anything like that. They're interested in these personalities, these cult of personalities, and really zingers and one-liners and stuff that doesn't mean anything, stuff that doesn't help anybody, especially their constituents. But these people vote for these people time and time again, so they must like the theatrics, right? Anyway, moving on. That's what's going on as far as that guy not running. I think that's why he's holding it back. No need to prolong the battle. And there's also a law in Florida that he cannot run for president while he's governor. Who knew? And I guess, there's people in Florida right now. People, when I say people, I'm talking about Republicans. The Republican Party in Florida right now is seeking to try and change that law. But who knew that was a law? You know what I'm saying? So he can't even run for president while he's governor. And maybe that's the reason why when people ask him, is he running or what's going on with that, he acts all coy and hush mouth about it. Because legally, he can't run for president. Even though a lot of the legislation he's been pushing and has gotten passed, and even so a lot of the culture crap he's doing, we know he's running for president. We know he's looking to be Trump 2.0. We know this. But he can't say it out of his mouth. He can't say it just yet, right? So that is what it is. Last point on that is this guy drops a book, The Courage to Be Free. Let that sit with you for a while. The guy who's so interested in taking away other people's rights, you know what I'm saying, has the audacity to have a book that's called The Courage to Be Free. Where's the courage in anything that Ron DeSantis does or is doing? Ask yourself that. Anyway, moving on. Let's get off of that and get on to this. Let's talk about everybody's favorite, he said sarcastically, television news personality, Tucker Carlson. He got the axe from Fox News. I know you've heard about it. We've all heard about it. It's been in the news. A lot of us dance the dance of joy. You could hear the bells going off in the distance. Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch is dead. Yeah, all of that. You know what I'm saying? People are happy that man ain't on the air no more. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a little bit better for America that he ain't on the air no more. But there'll be somebody to fill those you know what I'm saying, manure field shoes in a minute. Anyway, let me get into the story. So Tucker Carlson and his producer got the axe from Fox News. Fox said Tucker Carlson and Fox agreed to part ways They said we thank him for his service to the network, and he didn't even get a party or none of that. You know, he had an episode, I guess, on that Friday night, and then that Monday they were announcing that he was going just that quick, right? The news comes after Fox was ordered to pay Dominion Voting Systems $787.5 million behind lies Fox News, Tucker Carlson, and others fostered about rigged elections and rigged voting machines. So if you haven't been following it, they was on there spouting all these lies about Dominion and Dominion voting machines and how Dominion was rigging the election with their machines and all of that, throwing shade at Dominion. Dominion took them to court. They ended up suing them. They ended up winning because, I mean, my God, the proof is right there. I mean, they did it, several episodes of proof, you know, several hours of footage of Fox News just going in on Dominion voting machines and how they're in bed and, you know what I'm saying, with the Bidens and all this other stuff to rig the election and all this other garbage, right? So they got sued for that to the tune of $787.5 million. That's a lot of money. That's almost $1 billion with a B behind one person. So think about that, because a lot of people are like, how can they fire Tucker Carlson? It can't just be about the money. I don't think it's just about the money, but let that sit on your soul real quick. $787.5 million. That's almost $1 billion with a B. That's the better half of $1 billion. And I don't care. I get that Fox News has a boatload of money. They do. And somebody even said it's messed up. And I talked about it on the show too. How their accountability is real small because it ain't like they got to go on air or anything like that and, you know, apologize to the American people and tell people how they've been lying and all this other stuff and how they did it just for the money and just for the viewership. They ain't got to do all that. They get to quietly pay a boatload of cash to Dominion and still spout their lies. But that is a boatload of cash. Let's not let that, you know, I'm sorry, that ain't missed on me. $787.5 million. Most people will not see that in a lifetime. Most people wouldn't see that in a couple of lifetimes. That's a whole lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. So I guarantee you, you know what I'm saying, that Fox was feeling that. I don't care what anybody say. They probably made 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times that, but they were feeling that, right? So Carlson was caught with text messages, you know what I'm saying, calling the Dominion accusations absurd. So he had text messages that he was sending to his producer where he was saying these accusations that he's going on air and spouting are absurd. So he knew they were absurd. So they were spouting them just for the money, just for the viewership. Carlson's producer texted Carlson that he did not think there was enough evidence of voter fraud that would swing the election. Carlson replied, "The software-ish is absurd." You hear that? So his producer hits him up and says there's not enough evidence, and there's definitely not enough evidence to overturn the election anyway. And then Carlson hit him back and said, yeah, the software-ish that they've been talking about, how the software is faulty, it's absurd. So these guys knew that they were dealing in falsehoods. They did not care. They did not care. Because still don't nothing move but the money. They was getting paid. So they just kept it going, right? So there you go. You got that. Yet on his show, Carlson said, we don't know anything about the software. And if you ever watch Tucker Carlson's show, and if you have, you can go back and watch it on YouTube now because it's off the air now. But if you want to check out episodes that used to be on, that was his thing. He would always just ask questions. I'm just asking the question. He said, we don't know anything about the software, but we should do an investigation. And when they find out what's wrong with the software, they should let you know. Blah, 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 blah. Man, garbage. He would always claim he just asking a question, but really all he was doing was sowing the seeds of doubt because that's all they was trying to do, right? So it's funny because months later on January 6th, Tucker Carlson tweeted to one of his producers over there at Fox News. He said that Trump was a demonic force and a destroyer, right? That's what he tweeted on January 6th when all that insurrection stuff was going on. But then he got on his show and he ran cover for the insurrectionists and he held water for Trump. That's the kind of guy this guy is. He's a two-faced mofo. Excuse my language. This is a family show, but I got to keep it real. He's a two-faced mofo. And when you hear people talk about how Tucker Carlson's off the air and now where's the truth? Where can you go? Like he said, where can you go to hear Americans spouting the truth? You know what I say to Tucker Carlson being off the air? I say, good riddance to bad rubbish. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Because I guarantee you that man's words got plenty of people killed out here on these streets. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You know what I'm saying? He dealt in falsehoods. They pumped up a whole lot of animosity towards people who really didn't deserve it. And he always did under the guys just asking a question. You got people who follow this guy right off a cliff. Yeah, man. Him being off the air is now America's a little bit better. Just a little bit. Just a little bit better now that Tucker Carlson's off the air. Anyway, moving on. I want to talk about now going back, you know what I'm saying, to Joseph Robinette Biden. You know what I'm saying? How I was talking about how, yeah, he's old, right? And yeah, he's still the gaff master. He still mess up his words and stuff. He still don't always talk, right? But he know what he be talking about, right? So with that said, did you see the Correspondents' Dinner? I, of course, caught the highlights like I do all the time these days. There was a time when I didn't work as much as I do now, and I could watch the whole Correspondents' Dinner. But these days, I'm usually busy, so I always catch the highlights on YouTube. That's why YouTube is great. That's probably what you're watching me on right now. When you're done, please go over, like, and subscribe Urban Politics. But my point being, check this out. Let's talk about how Biden killed at the Correspondents' Dinner. I mean, this man had some zingers. And you know, just like Barack Obama, oh my Lord, Barack Hussein Obama, you know what I'm saying? You're saying Barack Hussein Obama. You know that he wrote some of his jokes, you know what I'm saying? Or definitely had a hand in the jokes that he was writing because they were really, really good, you know, and really, really funny, especially when he came at Trump. I think that's a lot of the reason why, you know what I'm saying, Trump had the presidency he had trying to get back at Obama because he was so mad about that Correspondents' Dinner because he just really, I mean, he just went in on Trump and it was so funny and all Trump could do was sit there and take it. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So Biden had a good chance here to really go in on a lot of people and say a lot of things. And it was funny because even after some of these jokes, he was like, seriously? Like, y'all going all about that? Like, seriously? Like, you expect me to, please tell me you're not asking me to have any remorse for this person I just dissed. Because they haven't had any remorse or any love or any care for me and their critiques of me. So, I mean, not that he said that, but that's kind of what he was saying, right? So I highlighted some of what I think were some of his best zingers. Check it out. The Correspondents' Dinner. He has said people thought he just accidentally blurted it out. Yeah, when he was talking about how he's making a run in 2024, and he did it through like you know what I'm saying, did it over the internet with the videos and stuff like that. And he was saying that a lot of those people, he was like, even people in my own cabinet probably thought that I accidentally just blurted it out. That goes back to what I said about him being the gaff master. He's known for doing it. He poked fun at himself for doing it. That was hilarious. He said, how could he not like Rupert Murdoch? He said, how can I not like a guy who makes me look like Harry Styles? I lost it. He said, people say I don't like Rupert Murdoch. How can I not like a guy who makes me look like Harry Styles? That was funny. Because Rupert Murdoch is one of the few people who's older and looks worse than Joe Biden. So it was funny he said that. That was a really good joke. Then he talked about, he said, some people say I'm past my prime. Some people say I'm this, saying that. He said, Don Lemon would look at me and said, there goes a man who's in his prime. Funny. And I think that was making reference to the fact that Don Lemon likes older men because I think he's with an older man or married to an older man. I'm just taking a guess on that. I don't know. If you know and I don't know, please give me some pushback. Let me know in the comments if I don't know what I'm talking about. But I think that was that's what that was about. That was funny. He was like, this was hilarious. He said, if you find yourself disoriented, or lost, or he said you're either drunk or Marjorie Taylor Greene. That was funny. I'm paraphrasing that, but that was hilarious. I didn't see her there, but if she there, I'm surprised she didn't get up and walk out because that was funny. He said that he loved NPR. He was like, because they talk in a whisper, like I like to do. They talk in a whisper. That was funny. I love NPR, and if you listen to NPR, you do know that sometimes they get a nice low ASR tone because they want to make sure that they talk to the listener's soul. Why they talking? Maybe I'll do a show, Urban Politics, ASR, but I have to get the big mics for the whole event. But anyway, that's what he was saying. That's what he's saying about NPR. That's hilarious. He was talking about how Elon Musk wants to get rid of NPR, saying it's no good. And he said the quickest way for Elon Musk to get rid of NPR would be for him to buy it. That was hilarious. Another zinger from Joseph Robinette Biden, from the 80-plus-year-old man who were like, he might not be mentally with it enough to run the nation. He coming off with some good jokes that night. Look, he talked about, what'd he say? Yeah. He said, there's more to do. You know what I'm saying? He said, me and Kamala, we still got more to do. The job is not finished. He said, well, the job is over for Tucker Carlson, but I was done. And then there was people in the crowd, the audacity, and he said, hold on. He's like, really? That's what he said, really? Like, I know y'all not on that dude. And he said, oh, man, give me a break. He said, give me a break. Are you serious? I know you ain't crying no tears for the likes of Tucker Carlson. For real. It's like, if you are, you obviously have not ever watched the show. And then Joe Biden, he said this quote, and this is an amazing quote right here. I like this. He said, don't compare me to the Almighty. He said, compare me to the alternative. And that's what, let me say it again, ladies and gentlemen, for the people in the back. He said, don't compare me to the Almighty, compare me to the alternative. That's fresh right there. That's fresh right there. That right there is a quote for the ages, because like he said, hey, don't compare me to God, compare me to the other idiot who gonna be up here if it ain't me. You know what I'm saying? You might not like me, but that other dude, he don't care nothing about you. Maybe at least I care a teaspoon about you. He don't care nothing about you. Listen to his words, ladies and gentlemen, and you gotta feel him on that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because, you know what I'm saying? The last joke was probably the last one I call anyway, probably my favorite. And this is hilarious. You're going to talk about how, talking about DeSantis and all crazy stuff he was doing. And then he said, yeah, DeSantis, after he was elected as governor, he was asked, did he have a mandate? And he said, DeSantis said, hell no, I ain't got a mandate. I'm straight. And then he said, hold on, let me pause. He's like, give you a little chance to catch it. Think about that. Let me marinate. Let me catch up to that. I was done. I said, hey, say what you will about Joe Biden. That man can write a monologue, can't he? He can write a joke or two, can't he? Because that was really, really funny and entertaining. And I think, say what you will, but he kind of showed right there that, yeah, I'm in my 80s, but I still got the chops. I still do this. I've been doing it forever, and I ain't missing a beat. So, like I said, the only real drawback that he has is that he's so old. But really around here in America, I don't know if that's a drawback. Because if you haven't been paying attention, ladies and gentlemen, all of our presidents have been old. All of our presidents have all had the same things in common, right? They've been old white men, except for Barack Hussein Obama. There was one guy, and he wasn't an old white male. He was a, middle-aged black man who I guess fell through the cracks or whatever. That is what it is, but you got to think about that. You know what I'm saying? The averages bode well for Joseph Robinette Biden, right? So the only thing that really is going against him, or the only drawback he has, is his age. But like I said, that may not be a big deal, because here in America, we like our presidents. We like them elderly. We like them old, And really, usually when you think of an old person, what do you think of? You think of a measured wisdom that you want in a leader of the free world. There it is. With that said, we don't want anybody who's going to kill over or die in office. And if that happened, then who would be president, ladies and gentlemen? You know the answer to that. And that would be some liberal's dream. With that said, I'm out of here. I'm your humble host, Phys Ed Music, and this right here is Urban Politics. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance, actually after this video, if you could, take yourself on over to YouTube, like and subscribe, Phys Ed Music, Urban Politics, but without, oh Lord, I always do that. I was about to start it again. I ain't about to start it again. We about to end it. And as always, see you around like a donut.